5 minutes remaining until our live show broadcast. Your next time cue will come with 4 minutes until airtime on the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Stations, if you encounter any technical issues related to this baseball game broadcast, please call our trouble hotline at 573-893-7477. Mark 4 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Your next time cue will come with 3 minutes until airtime on the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Mark 3 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Your next time cue will come with 2 minutes until airtime on the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Your next time cue will come with 2 minutes until airtime. Stations, if you encounter any technical issues related to this live show broadcast, please call our trouble hotline at 573-893-7477. Mark 2 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Studio producers, when you hear, please start your archive recording. Your next time cue will come with 1 minute until airtime for today's live show broadcast on the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Stations, we are coming up on 1 minute until airtime. 1 minute in 5, 4, 3, 2, Mark. 1 minute, stations. 1 minute until airtime for this live show broadcast. Studios, when you hear, please start your archive recording. Coming up on 30 seconds until airtime, on my mark. Mark, 30 seconds. Your next and final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds. Have fun.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Georgia Southern Sports Network. on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield, presented by Morris Bank. This is Hail Southern Live.
Glory to God and a bunch of great kids. Is college football not the best thing on earth?
Live at Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Hot wings, cold beer, and good times. Coming up, your all-access pass into Georgia Southern athletics, including a visit with head football coach Clay Helton.
Georgia Southern is championships. That's what this place was founded on. And the expectation and the standard each and every year is to compete and win championships.
Hail Southern Live is brought to you by Morris Bank. Bleed blue, bank blue. Morris Bank, member FDIC. The Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. And by Savannah Hilton Head International Airport and the Savannah Airport Commission. Make sure to tweet your questions to @GS Sports Network. Now let's head live inside Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Here's the voice of the Eagles, Danny Reed.
Eagle Nation, it is great to see you again back one more time at Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro for Hail Southern Live, presented each week by Morris Bank on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield. Lots to talk about tonight, some Georgia Southern football. Eagles are 2-0 after defeating UAB last Saturday, 49-35 at Allen E. Paulson Stadium, heading to Wisconsin this weekend for the first ever trip to Madison. That is a noon Eastern kick. We'll be on the air at 10 a.m. with the Cutwater Spirits Tailgate Show. Clay Helton will be here. The reigning Sun Belt Offensive Player of the Week, Davis Brin, is in the house. We'll be talking to him a little bit later on after he threw for 318 and had 2 passing scores and had a rushing score. If you have any questions tonight, you can submit those on Twitter at GS Sports Network or on Facebook Live. We're talking Georgia Southern volleyball for the next 10 minutes. And how about this group? Off to a 7-1 start, their best since 1994. Oh, they already got it. There we go. Well, hold on. One moment. There we go. Chad Willis, everybody. Give it up for him. A little anticlimactic. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
7-1 record, best start in 29 years. That's got to be nice to talk about.
Yeah, it's been a great start, Danny. We're trying to take it one day at a time, one match at a time. One of our big focuses this year has just been win the day, have that scorecard mentality about us and everything that we do. But we've got a really good group. They're connected. We talk about the trip we took this past summer. Really paved the way for that, and just really proud of the way they've come out of the gate so far this non-conference schedule and getting us ready for Sun Belt play.
Yeah, when you can start the way that you have, 7-1 through 8 matchups, taking 2 of 3 on the road last weekend at the Campbell Showcase, you've got to think that an experience like Argentina means that much more to you and the rest of the ladies.
Yeah, we talked about it. Aside from the volleyball standpoint of getting to play 5 matches down there against some quality opponents, just the time we got to spend together as a team and a staff and really connect and bond and cultivate those relationships. Those 6 days of practice we had prior to going over there for 10 days, they were crucial, they were critical. So when we got back in August, our team was fired up, ready to go, and they haven't let their foot off the gas yet.
This past weekend, those 3 matchups in Bowie's Creek, you dropped your first one of the season, 3-0 against UTSA, came back that evening against San Jose State, win 3-0. Allie Barnhart is somebody that we talked about right before the season, ties a school record in a 3-set match with 10 blocks. Then the very next day, more adversity against Campbell, got up 2-0. They win the next 2, but you dominate the 5th and final set to get out of there with 2 out of 3 and beat the host school. That was pretty meaningful. Yeah, no, it was a great weekend, and we said, I said it, we learned a lot about ourselves going into our first true road test of the year, and we talk about, in order to be prepared for moments, you've got to be in moments. And so for our team to really get pressed the way we did on Friday, especially UTSA, kind of knocking us back a little bit and then having to respond in less than an hour to turn around and play a top 70 San Jose State team and then be able to handle them the way we did, followed up by, taking care of the host Campbell squad on Saturday. I'm just really proud of the way our team responded, and I think that's just ultimately going to pay dividends for us as we get into conference play. A couple of other milestones were met during that Campbell victory. Ashlyn Lovett reaches 1,000 career digs. Callaway Kaysen, 1,000 career assists. You told me that this team is going to be predicated on defense, and numbers like that say they may be even more defensive-minded than you and the staff thought. Yeah, no, I think, we as a staff, we really like where we're at right now. We lead the Sun Belt in blocks per set at 2.85. It's the first time since we've been here as a staff that we've led the conference and blocks per set. We're, I believe, second right now and aces per set. And then I think we're third or fourth in digs per set. So that tells me we're
we're taking care of the ball. We're pressuring teams, offensively to have to frustrate them a little bit and getting some easy looks. We're owning the net. And then our defense behind our block is doing a really good job of handling the easy and just extending rallies and putting pressure on opponents.
In our conversation before the season, you also stressed how good you were a year ago in controlling things from the service line. You were one of the national leaders in aces per set. I know how good Ashland's service is. Yep. But to have the consistency in that area where you don't give the opposition a consistent chance to return serve, right. How big of a benefit is that?
No, I mean, we talk about it every day. It's one of our priorities as a team. We call it PTK, which is prevent the kill, and that's all about a mentality. What are we going to do? And it starts from the service line to not let balls hit the floor and really frustrate opponents to have to earn points the good old-fashioned way. If you're going to beat us, you're going to have to play really well and beat us, because we're not going to beat ourselves. We're going to handle the easy. We're going to own the net. We're going to be physical. We're going to extend rallies. We're going to do everything we can to play through our defense first, and it's really opened some things up offensively for us as well.
Now, you tweeted last night that who knows what goodies are going to be in store for those that are in attendance at Wild Wing Cafe. I saw the reinforcements. I saw some of the coaching staff here. What did you bring for everybody?
Well, I know everybody came tonight to see Clay Helton, but anybody like free T-shirts? Anybody want a free T-shirt? Yeah, so we've got, I think my staff's back there. We got some free T-shirts to throw out. We got some mini volleyballs to throw out. But I want to hear some noise. Can I hear some noise from the crowd? Yeah, that's right here down in front. And look, we got two of our student athletes, right? You speak of Allie Barnhart, right? Allie Barnhart, raise your hand. Right there, Allie Barnhart. We got Ailey Hare, two mid-year transfers that came in January for us. They're going to throw out some T-shirts too. Y'all grab you a T-shirt and a mini volleyball. And then we'll talk about the matchups we have coming up this week.
You've created a frenzy inside Wild Wing for mini volleyballs and T-shirts. I love this. Midweek home matchup tomorrow night. It's a whiteout against UNC Asheville. 5 o'clock start at Hanner Fieldhouse. First of 3 matchups this week. As you go into your final non-conference week, what do you stress?
Yeah, we've talked about it. Last week of non-conference, really the last chance we have to prepare for open up Sun Belt play with Arkansas State next weekend at home. And for us, we're going to take it day by day. But like how the schedule presents itself, we told the team, if we can be 10-1, that was the goal coming into the season, was to pick up minimum 10 non-conference wins going into our conference schedule, and we're right in line to do that. So if we can, stay connected and maintain our priorities and focus on that win-the-day attitude, we like the way the schedule shapes up this week.
From a sense of history, Georgia Southern Volleyball has never started 10-1. I know that would be great for a recruiting deal, but to have that kind of momentum going into what has become a really tough volleyball conference, that would be a good thing. Yeah, it's huge. The Sun Belt, in our sport has definitely elevated itself. You talk about the additions of schools like JMU, which took the title last year, and every night you're going to get a battle. Every night you're going to bring your best. And so we felt like this non-conference slate has certainly prepared us for that. And we've got a group that's really hungry. They're humble, but they're hungry. They come every single day with a great attitude. They control the controllables. They work really hard. They stay connected. It's probably the most connected group I've coached in 19 years. Wow. And they're ready to battle and get the job done. Thursday, you'll be up in Macon for a nice up and back against the Mercer Bears. Then back at Hanner on Friday for the GATA Challenge against Bethune-Cookman. Then the following weekend at home to start league play, as you mentioned, Friday and Saturday versus Arkansas State. But as we transition towards football talk with the Eagles heading to Wisconsin, you brought this up to me a few minutes ago. I did not remember this from last year. You were the guest right before Georgia Southern went to Nebraska. We all know how that one ended up, so this is a nice way to repeat history. Yeah. So Karma loves the Eagles, right? Yeah. What pearls of wisdom do you have for those going to Madison this weekend? I don't know if I have a dad joke, but I got to tell you, I do believe in superstition. I am the superstitious coach. I believe wholeheartedly in karma. Last year I was on the show. I said Clay Helton and Kyle Van Treese are going to roll up there in Nebraska, and they were going to take care of the Cornhuskers. And I fully believe Clay Helton Company are going to do the same thing. And I'm going to go ahead and call it what it is right now. Prepare yourselves for Saturday up in Madison, because it's going to be Parmageddon. How about that? Parmageddon. That's what I'm calling it right now. The Parmageddon game. Oh, my God. You got that right? Yeah. I don't know if anybody else got that. Okay, last year was about corn. This year it's about cheese. That's so right. I guess we get our cheese joke set up for this weekend. Noon Eastern kickoff at Camp Randall Stadium on Saturday, 10 a.m. airtime for the Cutwater Spirits tailgate show. Volleyball off to a tremendous start. They're 7-1 home tomorrow night for the whiteout against UNC Asheville Hanner. 5 o'clock first serve. Chad, great to talk with you. As always, good luck this week, and we will definitely be catching up and following you guys all season long.
Thanks, Danny. Hail Southern, GATA.
Head coach Chad Willis. Hopefully everybody has a T-shirt and a volleyball. We're talking football after the timeout. Clay Helton up to the stage as the Eagles beat UAB last weekend when Hail Southern Live continues on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield.
Hey, y'all, your summer is going to sizzle because the new Hot 7 scratchers are here. They are loaded with cash and are so hot you can roast a marshmallow over them. I ain't kidding. I mean, matches just light themselves just by looking at them. They might even give you a suntan. Go get you one to win some cool cash. Well, that was ironic.
Win up to $2,777,777. Play the new Hot 7's family of scratchers from the Georgia Lottery. Play responsibly.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Did you know that Yancey Rents is a Georgia-owned rental company serving Georgia since 1914? Yancey Rents has excavators, dozers, backhoe loaders, small dump trucks, water trucks, concrete saws, light towers, scissor lifts, and so much more. We've got a huge selection of equipment ready to be rented today. Call 844-YNC-RENT or check us out at yanceyrents.com. With 16 locations around the state and a new expanded lineup of equipment ready to be rented right now, Yancey Rents wants to be your preferred rental supplier in Georgia.
Wild Wing, I think I love you. Hey, Eagle Nation, this is Terry Harvin from the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro is your true blue home for hot wings, cold beer, and good times. Owned and operated by a proud Georgia Southern grad, Wild Wing Cafe is the official home of Hail Southern Live, the Eagles' weekly sports show every Monday night starting at 7 p.m. Whether it's for lunch, dinner, catering, or takeouts, you'll say the same thing I do every time. Wild Wing, I think I love you. Go Eagles and go Wild Wing.
Eagle Nation, tune in to Inside Georgia Southern Football each Monday, 11 a.m. on ESPN Plus, and watch locally on WJCL Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Our weekly 30-minute dive into Eagle football features head coach Clay Helton looking back at the week before and previewing the week ahead. It's football season, and your inside look is each Monday, 11 a.m. on ESPN Plus and Saturdays at 11:30 on WJCL. Inside Georgia Southern Football with head coach Clay Helton. Don't miss it.
Hey Eagle fans, this is Jared Benko. Renew your basketball season tickets today to watch Charlie Henry's first season leading the Eagles. Prices start at $100 for general admission and $150 for upper reserve. Reserve yours by calling 1-800-GSU-WINS or visit gseagles.com/tickets. Parking passes this season are also available to Earl Russell Fund donors for $100. Experience Georgia Southern basketball in its final full season at Hanner Fieldhouse. Renew your season tickets today. 1-800-GSU-WINS or gseagles.com/tickets.
The passion.
He's going to take it to the house. Dinner's cooking. Touchdown.
The fury.
Getting blitzed. Down he goes.
The speed.
40, there he goes. Down the sideline.
Western College football.
For the end zone. Got it for 6 points. You can unhitch the wagon. Put the ponies in the barn. Back to the end zone. 30, 20.
This is the College Football Bliss. Listen all season long on College Sports Now on the Varsity Network.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
The shotgun, 3 wide. Zeno has the snap, 3 to throw to. Zeno with pressure. Zeno avoids it, throws right. It's intercepted at the 39-yard line. Georgia Southern with the first pick of the year, past the 45, up to the 47. It's T.J. Smith. Oh, Eagle Nation, that one was a biggie. T.J. Smith with his first interception as an Eagle, with Georgia Southern holding a 6-point lead in the fourth quarter. It aided Georgia Southern's 49-35 victory over UAB last Saturday, getting Georgia Southern to 2-0 and heading to Wisconsin this weekend. First ever matchup at Camp Randall Stadium versus the Badgers. Noon Eastern kick, 10 a.m. airtime on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield. You can submit your questions on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, here on Facebook Live as well. Eagle Nation, at this time, give it up for the head ball coach, Clay Helton. Are you on board with Chad Willis's Parmageddon, or would you just rather it be 3-0 by the time we get back here?
I'll just take one more point than the opponent right now.
To get a victory against a team that had knocked you off in Birmingham last year, new for them, but a lot of guys back. So what did it mean ultimately?
I think it shows progress in our program. I think you're trying to improve each and every year, and here was a game that two teams that are really good teams that have equivalent personnel, really going out there and seeing, okay, who can out-execute the other and not make the critical errors. And really enjoyed how we played, especially offensively, and getting the job done in front of an absolutely amazing and electric crowd at Paulson on Saturday.
We put the stat out a couple of days before the game. When Paulson exceeds 20K the last 13 years, Georgia Southern typically wins. It was 2-0, 1-0-3. It was a 14-point win. Georgia Southern now 17-4 the last 21 times when the crowd has been 20,000 plus. And to know that that kind of atmosphere wills your team when the talent and the rosters look very similar, it means that much more.
Oh, there's a reason that this is one of the top 5 hardest places to play in college football. 81% win percentage, and it's because of our fans, our alumni, and the student sections. I thought the students were phenomenal in that game, stayed through all 4 quarters. It was just it really, just like you said, it willed us. And our kids felt that energy. I can't thank our fans enough for what they brought to the table. And we'll be back in 2 weeks, and I hope we can do it all over again and fill it even more.
Yeah, we've got 2 Midwestern trips coming up, with Wisconsin Saturday, Ball State the following Saturday. By the way, earlier today it was announced that game in Muncie next weekend is a 2 p.m. Eastern kick, so we'll be live at noon with the Cutwater Spirits tailgate show, and then next home game on September 30th, Sunbelt opener, trying for a sellout push, 25K at Paulson. Coastal Carolina comes down, and I know we're a couple of weeks away from that, but that's one that Georgia Southern really owes them.
Well, I tell you, it'll be exciting. We always love playing in Paulson. We earned win 2-11 the other night, and proud of our guys for what they did. We're going to go on the road, another great 2 experiences on the road, and we'll be looking forward to getting back into Statesboro here 2 weeks from now.
We've already spoken to how tough it is for teams to come to Paulson, but Camp Randall Stadium isn't exactly a picnic either. It's one of the oldest facilities. It's one of the more genuine facilities. We're all looking forward to jump around at the end of the third and the start of the fourth quarter. But how does having an atmosphere that Georgia Southern possesses help these guys prepare for the other side of it, kind of like what it was in Nebraska last year?
Yeah, definitely. I think the last game helps too, because when you're in a fourth quarter 15-round fight, there's going to be ups and downs, and there's going to be swings, and there's got to be a mental toughness to be able to handle the adversity of those momentum changes and be able to get to the next play and get to the next drive. Now you go on the road, and we've experienced, a lot of those kids that were in Lincoln last year have experienced what it takes to be able to have the mental discipline, to be able to handle the distractions that are around you, and focus on the 4 to 6 seconds that are in front of you. We faced an unbelievable atmosphere last year in Lincoln. We're going to face a very similar atmosphere with another storied tradition program with a great coaching staff and good players. It makes for a wonderful challenge, and our kids are excited about that challenge.
One of the more compelling things that came out of the Nebraska win last year was the end of that third quarter when the sea of red turned even more red. They had the laser light show going. It was a really cool thing to watch. But you looked in the eyes of every one of the guys that traveled, and you said, they're locked in. They're not wide-eyed. They believe they're going to do this. And lo and behold, you got the late touchdown, and you hung on for a victory.
Yeah, definitely. One of my favorite videos that's out there, and I've actually shown it to the team tomorrow, and they saw it during training camp, is right at the start of that fourth quarter, they start thunderstruck, and they turn out the lights, and it's a sea of red, and the lights are going. And there's a great video that you'll see on social media still there that you see 70 men that are in this one huddle with the whole world against them, and it was just us. And we know it was just us for one quarter doing our job, and we would come home very happy. It didn't matter what was going on around us. We were glued into each other and the job that we had to do. And it's one of my proudest moments as a coach because those kids were so bought in.
Coaches want to know how their teams handle adversity. Mm-hmm. At the same time, coaches would like to not have adversity be so prominent. But as a coach, how much do you want your guys to have to struggle so they know what it takes to overcome the struggle?
Well, that was a culture win, make no doubt about it. Yeah. That was 16 weeks of Bobby Steiner. That was a 16-week hardship of being able to lean on each other and understanding that football is not a comfortable sport. It does not put you in comfortable situations. You have to fight through adversity. And I as soon as we won that game, I walked right over to Coach Steiner and I said, thank you. Thank you for building the mindset that you built in the offseason over that 16 weeks because that was a culture win.
Hail Southern Live is brought to you in part by Georgia Power. Georgia Power, a Southern company. Coach, before we take a timeout, a football comment, but not necessarily a Georgia Southern football comment. Another Helton had some success this past weekend. Your son Turner, Western Kentucky against Houston Christian, 5 out of 5. Yeah. Touchdown pass and a victory for the Hilltoppers. Congratulations to Turner for a successful game.
I appreciate it. I went from a ball coach to being a daddy about 2 a.m. in the morning. That after the win, I turned that on and got to watch his 5 passes, and me and Miss Angela were together, and I turned into a very proud daddy. It was neat watching him get the chance to play.
We'll rehash UAB, take a look ahead to Wisconsin. Davis Brin joins us a little bit later on. Just got named Sunbelt Offensive Player of the Week earlier today. We'll do that after this timeout. It's Hail Southern Live from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield.
Yellowwood knows that a 5-star backyard is the place to make lasting memories, like cookouts, cornhole with friends, ooh, a neighborhood potluck with your wife's pasta salad, the one with the feta, oh, sorry, or taking a nap on your deck in a hammock. Naps are memories. I love naps. For 5-star backyards and the most memorable experiences, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
Eagle Nation, this is William Martin from Southern Exchange Company. We're proud to always bring you the best selection of Georgia Southern gear for game day and every day. Make sure to stop by and visit us at our store across from campus on Chandler Road or online at southernexchangecompany.com. Follow Southern Exchange on social media at SXC Statesboro for the latest gear in stock. Southern Exchange Company, the official merchandiser of Georgia Southern Athletics.
Your cargo transportation choice in Savannah and the Southeast. For freight management, consolidation, warehousing, and more, including flexible and responsive drayage solutions. Your success is our final destination. Savannah Logistics Group.
A logistics company that strives to deliver the best drivers, employees, and customer experience through our core values of empowerment, innovation, and consistency. Savannah Logistics Group, a proud supporter of Georgia Southern Athletics.
On game day, success starts with a great game plan. No matter if you're at home or on the road, greatness starts here with the Ford F-150 truck. Delivering a rare combination of power and smart technology like the available Class Exclusive Pro Power onboard, Ford F-150 helps make great things possible. See your local Ford dealer and score a great offer on F-150. See owner's manual for important operating instructions. Class is full-size pickups number 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Morris Bank is proud to be the Georgia Southern football season presenting sponsor. We've got a lot of Eagles on our team, so we know what it means to bleed blue. Believe, lead, understand, and excel are our principles which Morris Bank was built. Even though things are constantly changing, our commitment to our customers is stronger than ever. Just like the family feel of Georgia Southern, we still say hello when you walk into any of our locations, because Morris Bank hasn't forgotten that our customers and communities are what it's really all about. And that's what we mean when we say it pays to bank blue. Morris Bank, member FDIC.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the 2023-24 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite school or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. That's thedirectorscup.com and L Directors Cup on Twitter. Trophies will be awarded in June 2024 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Powered by Learfield. Welcome back to Hales Southern Live, presented by Morris Bank. Make sure to tweet your questions to @GS Sports Network. Now, let's return live to Wild Wing Cafe. Once again, here's the voice of the Eagles, Danny Reed.
About halfway through this week's edition of Hales Southern Live from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro, brought to you each week by Morris Bank on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield. A reminder, if you haven't done so already, go to flysav.com/GS giveaway and sign up for the Wings Up Eagle Nation promotion, where you can win 2 tickets to watch Georgia Southern take on Texas State on November the 4th in San Marcos. We'll cover your travel to and from the stadium, 2 round-trip airfare to get you from the Savannah Hilton Head International Airport to San Marcos. You go to flysav.com/GS giveaway. 2 weeks from tonight is when that contest ends. So if you haven't, please sign up. If you have signed up, wait for another couple weeks, and we'll be able to announce the winner on the 25th. But, Coach, getting set for a flight this weekend, Savannah Hilton Head. I know your favorite airport. It's all of our favorite airport. But this is the first time that this team is going to go on the road, having to deal with getting a travel party together, putting all of your equipment on the truck, making sure that everything is in order when you hop the charter. What kind of things do you have to consider?
Well, one, it makes me thank Matthew Hassan, our logistics master, our director of football operations, of getting this there and back, and the job that he does along with Chris Davis. They make it easy. And it's about getting in routine when you get out on the road.
Yeah.
And you'll have we'll carry 72 players down for this game, and it will be something where probably about 25 of them have not been on a college road trip before. And so it will be new for them and getting in routine of that. And, so we try to keep it as close to our normal schedule as home, but that plane gets in the way a little bit. So at least it'll be, I remember last year, Jet Thompson and Marcus Sanders getting on their first ever plane flight, going to Lincoln. So there'll be a couple that'll be their first flight, and we'll get there, get stationed in Friday night, get back into our regular game day routine, and then play an early ball game, which will be a little bit new for us too. I haven't played at 6, but we practice Tuesday and Thursday mornings at 10 o'clock, so we're used to this operation for the next 2 weeks, both 11 at 2, a little bit earlier games, so they'll be in routine.
Question coming in on Facebook Live from Clayton. Coach, how is Sam Kennerson? Haven't seen him this year. Hope he's ready to go soon.
Yeah, Sam is doing really well and progressing nice. You got to remember he had 2 different surgeries, one in October and then one in late December. And the one in late December was an ACL surgery. They repaired the PCL and the MCL. Then they came back and did the ACL in December. That's usually 9 months to be able to recover from that, let alone have 2 surgeries. So you're looking at about the middle of the year. We're going to reevaluate after the bye week, see where he's at. But he is gaining confidence. He's route running. He is showing burst in transition and getting closer to playing.
Good. Another one coming in on Facebook. Terrence asks, Coach, can you provide an update on Bryson Broadway's status?
Yeah, it's still with the NCAA. They request a little bit more information from us. We're giving that to them, and that is still in process right now. Hopefully we'll receive an answer before the end of the week. If not, then it'll go into next week. But there's a lot of these waivers that are out there and being worked through, and we've got our fingers crossed for Bryson and for our football team.
From Adam, are we bringing a jug of Eagle Creek water for the trip?
I tell you what, that's a hell of an idea. We may need to do that on this one and bring one. That's a great idea, Adam.
It's amazing that in 27 years of coaching, I would have thought you'd been just about everywhere, but the 2 Power 5 games, you've never been to Nebraska, have never been to Wisconsin. it's a funny coincidence, but for somebody that's been just about everywhere and seen just about everything, this is going to be new for you too.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It reminds me of last year. I mean, just you go to one of the more storied programs in college football, a rich tradition of history in the game, with a great fan base, and looking forward. You always, we tell recruits that, you come to Georgia Southern because you're going to play at the highest level. You're building a national brand. You're going to be on a national stage. And as this league, it becomes more and more competitive by the day and shows itself as a premier group of five league, not only that are you playing quality teams within league, but you're going to have the opportunity to play at Wisconsin on national TV and have that opportunity. So it helps in recruiting, and it helps build respect and resume when you go out and perform to your capability.
Something that seems to be sticking out so far about this team is the ability to start fast, whether that's been the defense getting a 3-and-out or forcing a fumble. Offensively, in the 2-game opening drives, have scored touchdowns. Out of the locker room, 2 opening drives have been touchdowns. What have you and the staff preached so well that has gotten this team to start well?
Yeah, we really did it in training camp, and we just had an open conversation, honest conversation, as well as the style of practice we did. The ability to start fast in today's game is ultra important because the play count has gone down with the new clock rules. I feel it. I think everybody's feeling it across the country that you're losing 2 to 3 drives that we normally would have on a game. And so it is so important right now to be able to start fast as an offense, be able to get those early 3-and-outs or turnovers. And you think about 2 weeks ago, 3 3-and-outs by the defense right off the get-go, a turnover this week on the first play, and then that helps your offense to be able to drive the ball in. We come up with another first score, not only in the first half, but I'm even just as proud as the first score in the second half because that was the one that truly created a 2-score separation that couldn't be overcome.
A week ago, it was 4 drives in the first half. I know Chip Kelly in UCLA, he had some choice words to say about the new clock rules, but it seemed like a chore this week to make it 6 drives. One of those doesn't happen unless you force the fumble on the game's first play.
Yeah, definitely. You have to get turnovers, and in this game to be able to acquire 3 allowed us to have 74 plays in the game. And so when you acquire those turnovers or you get those 3-and-outs, the week before, 6 of 11 drives, 3-and-outs. How many plays did you have? You had right at 75. So 74 plays last week, 75 plays week 1. That's because of 3-and-outs and turnovers by the defense.
Something that came up on your press conference earlier today, it was a really unfortunate incident with Caleb Cook. Really early in the first quarter. The response to it was special, which we'll get to in a moment, but you did say that Caleb was going to be done for the rest of the year. He suffered the right leg injury, but to see the team rally around him was a really touching thing.
Well, he's a loved member of our team and one of our favorite guys, and you can feel that from the reaction of our team. Obviously, we all knew the severity on the field. Fortunate for us, very clean break of the tibia, did not break through the skin, very easy surgery. Obviously, there'll be some rehab, but he will be back in spring. It was within the first 3 games, so he has the availability to apply for a waiver and get that medical red shirt back, which should be easy to do. He was in great spirits. I got to see him at the hospital after the surgery, and he was extremely happy to win the game, and then he knows his future is very bright. It was really neat to see him put himself in position to help our football team. He'd worked extremely hard to do that, and his future is going to be even brighter as we move forward.
It was a different kind of adversity that the team had to deal with, watching one of their own get carted off the field. But the very next play was a 3rd down snap. UAB looks like they're going to bring the house. And I remember saying this to Terry on the broadcast, the catch that Dalen Cobb makes for 20 yards, I had no idea what the game was going to look like, but if you rewound to a certain point where Georgia Southern kept their hold on the game after that happened, that was a monster play that he made.
Oh, my goodness. We don't see a ton of man coverage very much, and especially with the skilled athletes that we have. And in that instant, it was cover 0, which means they're bringing the entire team. and literally, there's no free safety in the middle. It's man-to-man. And Dalen, did a great job of getting off press coverage, getting open, in a good poised throw by Davis, and a great high point catch by Dalen. Really set the tone of that drive to make it continue.
With 10 touchdowns scored in 2 games, you're having a chance to kick the ball off a lot. Michael Lance has been very good in that category. He's also 4 and 4 for field goals. He was 2 of 2 inside of 40 in the fourth quarter. He seems like the body has changed, but mentally he just seems to be really there at this point.
Yeah, you got to remember he was in a fierce battle last year with Alex Rayner, and I mean you're talking about 2 great kickers, and you know it's been neat to see Mike's progression over the last year. I think he took that competition, said, "Hey, this is what I've got to do to be an elite kicker. One, I have to build my body even stronger, which he has. You can see the strength now he's doing with kickoffs and field goals, but also his mindset of consistency. He's got himself in a great routine right now that's really producing. He's one of the stars of our football team right now, and the kids love him. I mean, it's neat to be able to go in there Sunday and have the highlight reel, and you've got 5 or 6 plays by your kicker. That means he's doing pretty special things.
We're going to bring up Davis in our next segment. We said he was named Sunbelt Offensive Player of the Week earlier today. Throws for 318, 2 scores, runs in a score. To know that he can beat you with the feet and the arm, even more impressive.
Yeah, really nice. His athleticism really stood out, and I tell you what, his poise, it reminds me so much of Kyle, just, you know, having a guy that has 2 years of veteran leadership, has been through those battles. He knew what that game meant. He knew that he needed to be the one that was poised in a very back-and-forth ball game, and he did that, especially on the critical downs. 10 of 12 on third down.
That's crazy.
that he performed, did a really, really nice job.
We come back from this timeout. Davis Brin comes up to join us. QB1 for Georgia Southern. That's next on Hail Southern Live, brought to you by Morris Bank on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield.
Eagle Nation, this is William Martin from Southern Exchange Company. We're proud to always bring you the best selection of Georgia Southern gear for game day and every day. Make sure to stop by and visit us at our store across from campus on Chandler Road or online at southernexchangecompany.com. Follow Southern Exchange on social media at SXC Statesboro for the latest gear in stock. Southern Exchange Company, the official merchandiser of Georgia Southern Athletics.
It's game day. What do you take to the tailgate? A flat screen TV? Take it to the tailgate. Your wife's favorite blender? The DJ sound system? With a Ford F-150 truck, you can take it all. With available Pro Power onboard that acts like a mobile generator, you can use F-150 to take your tailgate to the next level. See your local Ford dealer score a great offer on F-150. See owner's manual for important operating instructions.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hi, this is former quarterback Kyle Van Treese. Name, image, and likeness, or NIL in college sports, is here to stay. We have the opportunity to be one of the leaders in our conference and in the group of 5. To keep our championship standard and stay ahead of the rest, we must keep our best players and recruit the best as well. Thanks to the new Eagle Nation Collective, we're in a great position to do just that, but we can't do it without your support. Please help by becoming a member of the Eagle Nation Collective today. Sign up online at eaglenationnil.com and receive exclusive access to our student athletes that you can't get anywhere else. Join the Eagle Nation Collective at eaglenationnil.com.
Get your tickets now for Family Weekend as the Eagles welcome Coastal Carolina on September 30th, 6 p.m. for Salute to Service. Call 1-800-GSU-WINS or visit gseagles.com/tickets. Watch the blue and white inside the prettiest little stadium in America. September 30th at 6 p.m. versus Coastal Carolina for Salute to Service. 1-800-GSU-WINS or gseagles.com/tickets.
Wild Wing, I think I love you. Hey, Eagle Nation, this is Terry Harvin from the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro is your true blue home for hot wings, cold beer, and good times. Owned and operated by a proud Georgia Southern grad, Wild Wing Cafe is the official home of Hail Southern Live, the Eagles' weekly sports show every Monday night starting at 7 p.m. Whether it's for lunch, dinner, catering, or takeouts, you'll say the same thing I do every time. Wild Wing, I think I love you. Go Eagles and go Wild Wing.
Hey Eagle fans, this is Jared Benko. Renew your basketball season tickets today to watch Charlie Henry's first season leading the Eagles. Prices start at $100 for general admission and $150 for upper reserve. Reserve yours by calling 1-800-GSU-WINS or visit gseagles.com/tickets. Parking passes this season are also available to Earl Russell Fund donors for $100. Experience Georgia Southern basketball in its final full season at Hanner Fieldhouse. Renew your season tickets today. 1-800-GSU-WINS or gseagles.com/tickets.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the 2023-24 college athletic season? You can follow the standings of your favorite school or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. That's thedirectorscup.com and L Directors Cup on Twitter. Trophies will be awarded in June 2024 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Gun 3 wide, second and goal at the 4. Motion from Burgess. Brin takes, runs right. He walks in. Wings up, Eagle Nation. Touchdown, Georgia Southern. Told you Brin's got good feet. That's a 4-yard touchdown run. His first in the blue and white. It's 13-0 Georgia Southern at 2:56 in the first quarter. First career Georgia Southern rushing touchdown to go along with 2 passing scores, 318 through the air. He is the reigning Sun Belt Conference Offensive Player of the Week. As Hail Southern Live continues, give it up for Davis Brin. Not too bad, 5. You played 2 games, you're already a Player of the Week. How's that feel?
Feels good. Obviously it's really a team award, I think, for me. I mean, I can't do it on my own. I mean, the O-line, 0 sacks is unbelievable. Had guys making plays all around me, and defense getting the ball back for us too. And so, huge team win for us.
Yeah, that's a part that we didn't get a chance to talk a whole lot about during the game. You threw 47 passes. You completed 38. You threw 47. Did not give up a sack, but the 38 completions, by far a career high, second highest in Georgia Southern history. 81% completion. How have you developed your accuracy over the course of your career?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that's super important to me, and worked on it all my life, really. Just the way that I play the game, I feel like accuracy is a strength for me. And being able to play in this system, I think it's, quarterback friendly, and I love being in it. And so it's allowed for some good numbers.
When you look around and see the talent at receiver, whether it's Caleb Hood, Derwin Burgess, Dalen Cobb, any of the tight ends you've got. J.J. McAfee had 8 catches last week. And, oh, by the way, Kenny pointing out on Facebook, you get Keaton Upshaw back this week, as Coach Helton calls him, a big, beautiful tight end. Can't wait to see what he does at Wisconsin this weekend. But when you receive that football and you look around and you see all those toys to play with, how do you figure out who it's best to get the ball to?
Well, first off, it is a good feeling having all those weapons, absolutely. But just taking what the defense gives me, there's always, I feel someone that's going to be open, and so it's my job to go get them the ball, and they're going to make plays with it.
You've played in big environments before at Tulsa, a couple of times at Oklahoma State. A year ago, you guys were off to a great start against Ole Miss, but you've also played at Ohio State, a team that Luke Fickell has been at before. In that game 2 years ago, you threw for 428 yards at the Horseshoe. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen on Saturday in Madison. We sincerely hope it does. But to go to a place but have success in a place like that, what does it do for you and how you can parlay that to the rest of the team?
Yeah, no, I think it gives me a lot of confidence. I enjoy playing in those big games. At the end of the day, it's the same 100 yards. So we're just going out to look and execute to the best of our ability. And like I said, take what the defense gives me.
I've got to compliment you on your polo. It's very stylish. It's very nice looking. Of course, we're in the same thing for those that are just listening to the Varsity Network at Eagle 94.9. But the Eagle Nation Collective is something that you are a part of. It benefits all 430 of Georgia Southern student athletes. But to have a culture and a fan base that wants to give back to you directly and make you feel like you're part of the family, what has that meant to you?
Man, it means so much. Just coming here, like the first time I drove into town, I could tell how much support there is in Statesboro for this university. And it means the world, just driving by, seeing bumper stickers and seeing logos in the windows of shops. I absolutely love all the support, and I'm really appreciative for it.
Going from Bernie, Texas to Tulsa, Oklahoma to Statesboro, Georgia, what similarities do you notice in your stops? What are the specific differences about Statesboro?
Yeah, well, I think, fortunately, all 3 of these places I've had warm weather and nice people. And that's something that I'm accustomed to. And
goes a long way.
Definitely here, and it goes a long way. Absolutely. But having this college town vibe and all the support, like I was talking about, it means the world. And I think it's very unique about this special place in Statesboro.
All right, 3 minutes left in the third quarter last week. You threw a spin on. Where did that come from, and how did you do that?
I don't bring that one out too often, to be honest with you. But the instincts took over. I was looking to pass the ball and saw a lane to run, and it just happened. So, well, who knows if we'll get another one or not.
Does that get a rise out of Coach Helton and Coach Ellis about, protect yourself a little bit more?
Absolutely. It may or may not be worth the extra couple yards. But fortunately, I was healthy from that.
I look back at your story, and you spent 5 years at Tulsa, but specifically that 2020 season, you were on the third string, but the Tulane game is kind of where your legend was born. You come back from 2 scores, the Hail Mary at the end of the game, you end up winning it on the crazy pick six in overtime. To think about how a day in a game like that was so formative to where you are now, how much more does it mean to you?
Yeah, it means a lot. I mean, thinking back to that game, that was a pretty unbelievable night for us to win in double overtime like that. But I think me just always preparing, being prepared to go out on the field, that's just given me confidence throughout my career.
Question on Facebook from Robert. What NFL quarterback do you model yourself after or admire?
I think right now I admire Joe Burrow a lot. That dude, cool Joe. I mean, he's a stud. He is. So.
You might want a piece of that contract he just signed too. That wouldn't be too bad.
That was pretty good looking contract there. I can't lie. But yeah, he's a great quarterback, and I love watching him.
One of your receivers broke a school record last Saturday. Caleb Hood is now Georgia Southern's all-time career leader in receiving yards. An awesome moment for the program for somebody that stuck it out through his 5 years. But you two share a partnership with Human Farms.
Yes, we do.
How was it decided that you got to take a bite out of the onion?
I volunteered for that one actually.
Did you?
I took that one for the team, but it was fun being able to work with them. Doing some media and stuff like that and getting creative. It's a good onion. It's good product. So
I've never had anybody take a bite out of an onion. So
yeah.
Was it
not that bad actually. Not at all.
Was it as many layers as it looks,
onion.
or it is? Vidalia does make the sweet onions. So why didn't Hood take a bite out of the onion?
I think you have to ask him. Yeah.
All right, heading to Madison this weekend to take on the Wisconsin Badgers. We've heard about Camp Randall. We've heard about Jump Around. We've heard about everything. But for this team, it's 100 yards. It's 53.5 wide. It's a chance to get another Power 5 win and get to 3-0. How do you block out the noise and get the job done?
Yeah, it's about just focus and execution for us. We're going to get a really good game plan together and go execute it all week, every day in practice, and then go compete on the weekend.
Noon Eastern from Madison on Saturday. We're live at 10 a.m. with the Cutwater Spirits Tailgate Show. Congrats on Sunbelt Offensive Player of the Week, first of many this season, we hope.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That is quarterback Davis Brin, number 5 in blue and white. You'll see him show out on Saturday at noon. Clay Helton rejoins us in moments to talk about those Badgers. We'll do it after this timeout from Wild Wing. This is Hail Southern Live, powered by Learfield.
You choose the combination, and they'll cook it in their 500-degree brick oven in just a few minutes. Your own delicious pizza experience using only the freshest ingredients on hand-tossed dough and individually sized just for you. And that Eagle Nation is why they're called Your Pie, because it's all about you. The Your Pie in Statesboro and downtown Savannah is owned and operated by Joe Hunt, a Georgia Southern grad. So when you order your next pizza, be true blue and make it all about you. Go see Joe at Your Pie, and I guarantee it, you'll be glad you did.
Wild Wing, I think I love you. Hey, Eagle Nation, this is Terry Harvin from the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro is your true blue home for hot wings, cold beer, and good times. Owned and operated by a proud Georgia Southern grad, Wild Wing Cafe is the official home of Hail Southern Live, the Eagles' weekly sports show every Monday night starting at 7 p.m. Whether it's for lunch, dinner, catering, or takeouts, you'll say the same thing I do every time. Wild Wing, I think I love you. Go Eagles and go Wild Wing.
Did you know that Yancey Rents is a Georgia-owned rental company serving Georgia since 1914? Yancey Rents has excavators, dozers, backhoe loaders, small dump trucks, water trucks, concrete saws, light towers, scissor lifts, and so much more. We've got a huge selection of equipment ready to be rented today. Call 844-YNC-RENT or check us out at yanceyrents.com. With 16 locations around the state and a new expanded lineup of equipment ready to be rented right now, Yancey Rents wants to be your preferred rental supplier in Georgia.
BBWH Insurers, owned and operated by Georgia Southern alumni, has been serving Southeast Georgia since 1888. Our partnerships with quality A-rated carriers such as Central Mutual Insurance Companies provide affordable and comprehensive coverage for your family and business. BBWH Insurers protects and supports our own. That's our true blue promise to you. Call me, Brad Powell, at 912-764-9602 or visit us online at bbwhins.com and go Eagles.
Aw, shucks. The game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
The Eagles fly here.
Intercepted. It's picked off. Condry Jackson to the 30. He outruns Bradley to the 20, to the 10, to the 5. How about that on the second play? Wings up, Eagle Nation. Touchdown, Georgia Southern.
Hail Southern and GATA all season long.
He caught it. He caught it. A lightning bolt, 79 yards to the Jets.
On the Georgia Southern Sports Network from Learfield. This is Hail Southern Live, powered by Learfield, live at Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Here's Danny Reed.
Just a few minutes left in this week's edition of Hail Southern Live, a Wisconsin edition of Hail Southern Live, as Eagle football heads to the land of 10,000 cows this weekend, going to Madison, first ever trip to Camp Randall. Noon Eastern kickoff, be live at 10 a.m. with the Cutwater Spirits tailgate show. Coach, a question coming in on X. This is one that we've all been wondering about. I've saved it for the end of the show to get the amount of buildup that's necessary for a question like this. Ben asks, will we be wearing blue pants on the road again this season?
I know this is critical to win the ball game.
Absolutely, it is.
No, we're going to be white on white this week and through the season. So Andy Harris, who is as good an equipment manager as he is, really worked with Adidas and got the new line of pants that just came out. The kids love them. It looks great, the white on white. So we'll be in Wisconsin. White on white.
You know, that's good coincidence because Andy is a Wisconsin native. So
yes.
He's probably somebody you need to lead on this weekend for how to navigate the landscape up there.
Nobody knows cheese any better than Andy.
And I talked with Rip earlier today about this. With games like this, you look for the experience in the environment. Did you play there? Did you coach there? Have you visited there? He had been there in both. He's going to be on the Cutwater Spirits tailgate show on Saturday. Really cool story he tells about his time at FAU when they visited Camp Randall in 2017. TJ Woods was there for 2 years, worked with Melvin Gordon in 13 and 14. Rachel Cooper, Director of Operations from Wisconsin, went to Whitewater. Trainer Nick Sparacio also worked up there for 2 years while Coach Woods was there.
Yeah, definitely. We have some folks that have been in that area, and obviously Coach Woods did an amazing job while he was in Wisconsin. So have leaned on him to know some of the ins and outs, and looking forward to getting up there. Going to be a beautiful day.
Yeah.
71 degrees. It's going to be a little bit cooler than we've been experiencing, but should make for great fall football weather.
Georgia Southern goes up 2-0. Wisconsin 1-1. They beat Buffalo, but they lost on Saturday night out in Pullman, which you are very familiar with, the area. Up at Washington State, they fell in that game 31-22. Offensively, running their version of the air raid with Phil Longo, successful OC at Ole Miss, most recently at North Carolina over the last 4 years. But for a team that's known for a lot of big tight ends, fullbacks, and running backs, now they're spreading it out and trying to throw it 40 times a game.
Yeah, definitely. You know, Coach Fickle's one of the best head coaches in college football today and does a tremendous job. He's brought in a unbelievable coaching staff and has really married up what he did at Cincinnati a little bit about being a spread offense with a tremendous defense. And so when you look at both sides of the ball, they're very attacking. That you can tell that they have an identity. It's going to be a great, unique challenge for us on Saturday. Should be a lot of fun.
With a team that's still trying to emphasize pass, just like Georgia Southern, multiple running backs. You need to have multiple running backs when you're going at a high tempo, trying to run 70 to 75 plays per game. They've got two really good ones. Braylon Allen's 245, runs smooth, could be a first-round pick this year. Ches Malusi, he's no slouch either.
Yeah, they're both three-down backs, and they remind us of our offense. Our offense doesn't go without those running backs.
Yeah.
Jalen White and O.J. Arnold do a tremendous job. 3 more touchdowns this past week, and their offense is exactly the same. The backs provide balance. I know that they're labeled air raid, but really when you break them down and you look at it, without those two backs and the production that they produce, not only in the running game but coming out of the backfield, they're not the same offense. And so, it is very similar to ours that you see the balance because of the running backs and their production.
Yeah, running back Braylon Allen actually leads the Big Ten in catches 2 weeks into the season.
Yes.
He has 13 receptions as a running back. He had 13 catches all of last year. Defensively, led by Mike Tressel. He was with Coach Fickle at Cincinnati. They do things a little differently. A lot of times they're in a 3-2-6 defense, something they call their dollar package.
Yeah.
A lot of the time they run a 3-3-5. They will run some 4 down, but with a defense that changes so much and is very unique, how is that something you've got to be mindful of?
Yeah, you have to have great communication, especially in your offensive line. Something that we faced last week, too, not knowing if it was going to be a 4-down day or an odd front day. Now we are going to get both. They even showed that to Washington State, even, who's an air raid system. Got a lot of that dollar package that you're talking about, the ability to be able to spread the field with different athletes. Jumped in a little bit of 4-down in some situations, as well as some bear front. So it is something I think our offensive line is going to have to do a great job of communicating, identifying what's going on with the defensive front, being able to communicate, being able to do their assignments.
We said this earlier today on Inside Georgia Southern Football. You can watch each Monday at 11 a.m. on ESPN+. Nebraska is going to come up a lot all week long. It was a year ago yesterday that your team went to Lincoln, defeated the Cornhuskers 45-42. I know it's a different year, it's a different circumstance, but what about that can help you now?
Well, I think one of the things, and I started off with, anytime you're coming off a big game and a big win, or people want to reference, hey, this reminds us of last year, you got to remember that there's so much humility and humbleness that has to be in the honor of the prep and the process, and you have to totally focus on what you were doing in your preparation during the week if you even want to have a chance to go to Camp Randall and be successful. And so here's some of that distraction that we talk about. Hey, we want to talk about last year. We want to talk about, oh, man, what a great game last week. We have to walk in the building tomorrow, which today was the players' day off, walk in the building tomorrow, be humble, show great humility, be hungry, and respect the process and the grind of trying to go 1-0 and focus on our job and what we have to do. And so as much as I enjoy visiting about Nebraska, and when I'm 80 years old, I'll think back to it. Right now, when you walk through the door and tomorrow morning, you got to be all about Wisconsin and what it takes to win a football game.
It absolutely is a chance for Georgia Southern to make another national statement this Saturday in Madison. Barry Alvarez Field, Camp Randall Stadium. We're on the air at 10 a.m. Eastern with the Cutwater Spirits Tailgate Show. It is a noon kickoff, Eagles and Badgers from Madison. Coach, thank you so much as always. Best of luck getting to 3-0 by the time we're here next Monday night.
Thanks, Danny. Hail Southern.
For Davis Brin, Chad Willis, great crowd tonight. And for Chris Affolter back in network control, this is Danny Reed signing off from Wild Wing Cafe. We will see you on Saturday in Madison, Georgia Southern and Wisconsin, right here on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield.